Here's something that took me way too long to figure out. I had the degree, I had the fancy job on Madison Avenue, I had my 5 year plan, I had the perfect LinkedIn profile that looked like I had my life completely together, but I was miserable. Now, nothing dramatic, like I didn't cry in the shower every night, but I was simply exhausted. I was too exhausted to have a life. I was too exhausted to hang out with my own friends on the weekends, and I would just like make up excuses to stay home. Because when you work 60+ hour weeks and you go home to a studio apartment with windows that face another building, and you never see the sun, that's depressing. So if you're in your 30s or 40s and something about my story hits a little too close to home, this video is for you. Because I'm going to share the 3 things that I wish somebody had told me back then. And I'm going to show you exactly how understanding these 3 things changed the entire trajectory of my life, from broke and burnt out to generating an online business that makes 7 figures. So stay with me because I'm going to share my real story. So let's go back to 2017. I had just finished a few years back my master's degree from NYU, and I was $60,000 in debt and student debt. I was living in New York City, and I had what everybody around me thought was like a dream job. I was managing multi-million-dollar digital marketing campaigns for Fortune 500 companies. Listen, I even worked on campaigns for the Olympics. So on paper, it looked amazing. But in real life, I was getting to the office at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and I was leaving at 10 p.m. And sometimes I would even work an entire month every single day, weekends included, with no break and no life. And then I remember sitting there thinking, if I'm going to sacrifice my health, my friendships, and every weekend I'll ever have in my 30s, why am I making somebody else rich? I thought I was doing everything right. The degree, the career, the hustle. I was checking all the boxes, but I had missed the most important question. Whose life was I actually building? And that's the first thing I want you to hear today. Most of us in our 30s and 40s are living completely on autopilot and we don't even know it. I was. Like, I had my routines, my goals, my subway commutes, my to-do list. And from the outside, it looked like I was winning. But when you live that for years, just simply executing the plan, focusing on your next milestone, going, you can wake up one day and realize that you've built a life that doesn't even feel like it's yours. It's like you're following a recipe perfectly, and then you realize that you don't even like the dish. So research shows that the average person spends over 2.5 hours a day on social media alone. So then you add commuting, running errands, emails that you don't even want to read, and you end up being busy all day. But you're not truly awake to what you're actually building. So it's like the constant cycle of chasing the next thing, adapting to it, and then chasing the next thing again. So what ends up happening is that you run faster and faster and you don't actually move forward. So for me, the wake up call, it was necessarily one single moment, but it was like a slow accumulation of Sunday nights where I felt like this dread because it was about to be Monday. And it was realizing that I had moved to New York City with all these dreams. And instead, I felt like I was drowning. I was overwhelmed, I was depressed. And the worst part, I didn't even know what I needed to change. So I did what most of us do when we feel stuck, right? I tried to do more. So I found first print on demand, where I was designing t-shirts. I listed them online because I was trying to make money in my sleep. And I went in hard. I went all in. I spent money on Facebook ads, Google ads. I even started a podcast to drive traffic to my crypto t-shirt store because Bitcoin at the time was having a moment. So I lost money, I went into debt, and I was more depressed than when I started. But here's what I understand now that I didn't understand then. I wasn't failing because I wasn't working hard enough. I was failing because I was still on autopilot, just in a different direction. So I was chasing trends instead of solving real problems. And I was reacting instead of understanding the core problems my customers had. And I didn't understand what I needed to focus my time and energy in. So here's a reframe I want you to take from this. Stop running the checklist and start asking. First, do I even want this? So you don't have to blow up your whole life tomorrow. Like, start small. Do like a conscious course correction in your 30s and 40s. Like, that's everything. Because if you don't make them, you can wake up a decade later and realize you've been climbing the wrong mountain the entire time. Okay, so lesson 2, and this is the one that actually changed everything for me practically. Your identity is more powerful than your goals. So for years, I set goals the way everybody told me to. I needed to hit a revenue target. I wanted to build an online business. I wanted to make a certain amount of money. And sometimes I would hit those goals, but then I kept sliding back because I didn't change who I believed I was. I was still operating as the overworked employee. So the person who traded her hours for dollars, the person who needed somebody else's approval to actually publish something or to feel legitimate, right? And no goal in the world was going to fix that until I changed who I was, my identity. So James Clear actually talks about this in Atomic Habits. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe that you are. So over time, all of this adds up. And then eventually the balance tips. That's why most New Year's resolutions usually fail, because we make a resolution, but we're still showing up as the old version of ourselves, right? It's just like a fancier planner. So for me, that identity shift, it happened in 2020. I stopped trying to chase every trend and I stopped overcomplicating the process and I asked myself, what kind of person do I want to become? Not what do I want to achieve? Like, who do I want to be? And the answer was someone who builds things that help people, someone who creates real value, someone who doesn't need a corporate job to validate her. So I tried again. And this time I tried personalized print on demand jewelry. And so instead of chasing trends, I focused on solving a real problem: how to create the perfect, meaningful gift for someone that you love. So it first started with a necklace for a daughter or thinking about a personalized gift for Father's Day. So my first month, it flopped, right? Like everything I did failed. I had like a toilet paper joke on a necklace during COVID and it barely broke even, but I kept going. Then Father's Day came and I hired a coach to learn how to run Facebook ads. And I actually learned how to identify winners. And I made my first $8,000 in 30 days on a $2,000 ad spend. And I was like, oh my God, this actually works. And then I ended up moving to Etsy. And within 30 days, I made my first $10,000 in sales. And within a few months, I made six figures. But here's the thing: the business didn't change until I changed. I stopped looking for excuses and I start realizing that I had a knowledge gap, right? Instead of feeling frustrated of saying, why me? Why am I not successful? I realized that I was the problem and I took full accountability for the fact that I just simply didn't have the knowledge. And I also stopped seeing myself as somebody who works for other people and started seeing myself as somebody who builds things for herself. So once that identity shifted, the habits followed naturally. I didn't have to drag myself through willpower of like working extra hours. I was able to work till midnight, right? I was able to wake up the next day and go to work. I just became who I was. So if you're in your 30s and 40s, stop asking, what goal should I chase? Start asking, who am I becoming? Because that answer right here, that's what will carry you so much further than any other SMART goal or spreadsheet ever will. Okay, so third lesson, and this is the one that creates urgency without panic. Time isn't running out, but it is slipping away if you don't act. The average person gets about 4,000 weeks in a lifetime. So if you're in your 40s, you've already used around 2,000 weeks. And here's the uncomfortable truth: those weeks, they don't all disappear at once. They drip away quietly while you're scrolling, while you're committing to too many things, while you're saying maybe next year, I don't feel like it. Like, drifting is a real enemy, not your age, not your circumstance. I know this because I did it. I drifted. So after my print on demand business on Etsy started working, personally, I kept going on autopilot again. Like, my business was fine and I was making decent money, but I got bored. And I realized I didn't want to be an Etsy print on demand girl forever. I wanted more. I wanted to help people build something with more meaning. And here's the good news that research actually backs up. Like, happiness follows a U-shaped curve. So people often hit a dip in life satisfaction in their 40s, but after 50, it actually tends to rise back up. So midlife is not the beginning of a decline, it can be the beginning of something better. So I want to say this clearly to every person watching this who's maybe in the 30s or thinking, oh, I'm too old. You're not too old. You're just out of the beginner stage, if you will. You finally have enough life experience to know what truly matters. Now, the true question is, what are you going to do with it? So if you're in your 30s, you have time to course correct before you hit your midlife dip, right? If you're in your 40s, this is your invitation to stop postponing and start designing the life that you want. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is already dripping away. So here's what the shift actually looked like for me in practice. So it was over time, right? But like, I started picking up my phone and I started talking in front of the camera. I didn't have like a fancy camera. I didn't have a production team. It was just me sharing what I learned, the failures, the win, the real stuff, right? And then I started posting on TikTok, then Instagram. And then within a few months, I had a video that hit 1 million views. So people started DMing me, asking me if I had a course, asking if I had coach or if I was coaching. At first, I kind of resisted because there's so much noise about being like a course creator. But then I thought, hey, I actually did this. I can actually teach this because I made every mistake in the book. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. I've tried it all. And if I can help somebody skip even half the pain that I went through, that's worth it. So I started building digital products, frameworks, mini courses, templates, like things that solve one specific problem for one specific person. And then I started coaching. I started building systems that work without me having to be there every single minute of the day. And then soon after, that's when I generated my first $1 million online. Not because I got lucky, because I stopped living on autopilot and I stopped having excuses. Because I changed who I believed I was. And because I also stopped drifting and started designing. Listen, I'm not special and I'm not some 22-year-old genius, figured out some cheat code. I'm just somebody who failed a lot, but I kept going anyway. And eventually I found something that worked. And then I built a system around it. So let me re-say this all simply. You need three things. Stop living on autopilot, audit your life, and decide what's actually yours to keep. Try to figure out what your identity is, not just your goals, and ask who you're becoming, not just what you want to achieve. And then stop drifting because time isn't running out, but it is slipping away if you stay comfortable doing nothing. You're not behind. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to start making choices that line up with who you want to become. So start with one simple digital product, start with one simple video, start with one honest conversation with yourself about whether the life you're living is actually the one you want, because you can do this. Like, I know you can. Because listen, I was completely broke. I was drowning in student loans. I was eating ramen in a teeny apartment in Harlem, and I did it. The question is, what are you going to do to start today? Or are you going to tell you, I'll start in another week? Now, if you're interested in learning how I build and sell mini AI apps, I actually have another video, which I'm going to include below, which you can check out next to learn, in my opinion, what is the best way to make money in 2026. Now, let me know where you are in your journey and what's the hardest thing that you struggle with today in the comment section, and hopefully I can help you. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.